Hey, 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 it's Tia, baby. And I am back with another video. So today I'm going to give my opinion and my thoughts about the Selena series part 2, episode 1 through 3. I didn't see the rest of them yet. I will see, I will watch episode 4, 5, and 6 tonight. Because I got a little sleepy and it was getting late and I had to go to work the next day, so I cut it off after the episode 3. So like I said, from the first part of the series, to me it just reminds me of an after school special. The scenery just looked like it's from an after school special. It kind of looked like certain scenes looked like they were in a studio rather than really being outside. Like I can tell that when the Selena character was driving in her red Porsche, you could tell there was green screen because her fixture did not match the background. But I know that, you know, it happens in movies or whatever the case may be, but it just look obvious. Like I said, it just look real obvious. I still can't get past the physical. I'm one of those people that, you know, if you're going to portray somebody, you have to look like that person. You don't have to look like a twin, but to me, I don't see Selena in her. Like, the only part about her that, you know, it comes close is the way she talk. Like, she tries to do the accent, but I feel like her accent is a little too, like, it's too strong, or it's too, you know, it's like she's trying too hard. But I would say that's the only thing that has come close. Other than that, like, you know, physically, no. Like, her hips are too wide, but her butt is too flat. Selena didn't have hips like that. Selena didn't really have hips. She had more of a butt than she did hips. And that's why I said J-Lo, to me, you know, didn't look exactly like Selena, no. But with makeup and, you know, the fact that her body frame was similar but not, because like Selena's body frame was more like, she had thick thighs, thick behind, but she didn't have hips like that. Her hips were like really small, and she had a small waist, and, you know, medium sized boobs. Whereas though J-Lo was more hippie, like her hips spread as well, just like Christian Sorrento's, but she had a big butt as well, which kind of made it blend a little bit better. But her thighs were not as thick as Selena's, J-Lo's. But I mean, it came a little close. It was close enough. It wasn't, you know, identical. There are people out there that look identical to Selena. If you go on Instagram and you see different, you know, Hispanic girls that, you know, I would say, yeah, they could have played Selena back then, but they may have had the look but didn't have the personality, or they may not know how to act. And I mean, you also got to go by personality. You also got to go by, you know, talent. And, you know, like I said, Christian, she played the part well in terms of her, you know, trying to speak like her. But physically, I just didn't see Selena at all. And that makes it hard for me to kind of relate to that series, because I don't see Selena when she don't capture her spirit, in my opinion. Now, that's what some people say, the total opposite. But to me, no. But I mean, hey, that's just me. Like, for example, what's her name? Angela Bassett. When she played Tina Turner. No, she didn't look like Tina, like exactly like Tina, but her you see Tina when you see Angela. She sound like her. She moved like her. Her body image was just like her. She captured her essence. That's what I got from J-Lo. She captured Selena's essence. That's what I got from the girl that played Aretha Franklin in the Aretha Franklin series on Hulu. I forgot her name, but she also played Harriet Tubman. You know her name. I mean, hey, look her up if you don't, because I forgot her name. But she captured Aretha's essence. Like, she did look like her in certain parts, but she captured her essence. She didn't sound like her in terms of singing, because they didn't use Aretha's voice. I don't know why. They should have. Even though she can sing, they still should have used Aretha's voice. Well, maybe they didn't have permission. But I got Aretha when I saw her. Hopefully I will feel the same when I see the movie, the Aretha movie that Jennifer Hudson will play. But like, I did not capture Selena. Like I said, I didn't capture Selena's essence when I see Christian. No shade to Christian. She did her best, but it was just cheaply done. Like I said in the beginning, like I said in the other when I talked about the part one, it just was cheaply done. Like, the wigs were horrible. The wigs are horrible. The Selena, even when, like, in this series so far, the part two, like the first and second episode, where her hair was straight and it was like shoulder length, you could tell it was a wig. It was just so poorly done. Like, the wigs were horrible. Chris' wig is horrible. All they had to do was just let his hair grow. Let his hair grow a certain length, and because his hair wasn't that long when he was with the Los Dinos. His hair was like neck length. His hair was not that long. He didn't let his hair grow out long until years later, like after Selena had passed away. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I will say, the third episode, when he was talking to Selena about, I don't know what, I think they were talking about the boutique or whatever. I heard a little bit of Chris in his voice, like because Chris has a lisp. And I heard it a little bit in, when he was talking, and I was like, yeah, he's starting to sound like Chris. But of course he didn't really look like Chris with that wig on. But when I saw that interview, like I said in a video months ago, when he did an interview with a radio personality, and he was talking about, preparing for the role and stuff like that, he looked more like Chris with his real hair than he did with the wig. The wig just kind of like threw me off. So yeah, the wigs were horrible. Horrible. Now I will say, the person that played is not Joe. Is it Joe? Yeah, Joe. I see Joe. When I see him, I see Joe, but he just looked like a psychotic version of Joe. Like, weird. Like, I don't know. They just made him look weird with them I don't know. Maybe that's just how he really looks. The actor really looks. But I can see him. Like, they did a good job when they cast Joe. But or was it Ricky? Whoever the big one is with the glasses. I think that's Ricky. I want to say Ricky. It might be Ricky, because I always get him and the keyboard player mixed up. I think that's Ricky, and the keyboard player is Joe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So yeah, I can see him. Like I said, the guy that played ABCDFG, no, don't look nothing like him. But I would say, if this is true, how it went down with ABCDFG, then I feel bad for ABCDFG. I was like, well, that probably explains why he's so, always in trouble, and always, always in the limelight, in a bad light, because maybe he was always looked over from his dad. He always wanted approval from his dad, but his dad really kind of downplayed his hard work and put Selena in the limelight as if she only mattered, because that's what it portrayed in the movie. Now, I mean, in the series. So if that is true, then I do feel bad for ABCDFG, because you know he is the backbone of Selena y Los Dinos, because he wrote a lot of those and produced a lot of those hit records along with Pete. But you know, he did a lot of work. He did a lot of, when everybody went home, he was still in that studio day and night, slaving, trying to make sure everything is right. And if he ain't getting the recognition that he deserved, especially from his father, then that will put a damper on somebody's on his soul, on his self-esteem and all that. So if that is true, then that doesn't justify him not being there for his kids and in that limelight. But I mean, it probably justify why he is the way he is, meaning like acting out and stuff, because it's like you didn't really give me the attention that I deserve when I was doing the right thing, when I'm working hard and all of this. And then so I don't know, but I feel bad for him if that's true, because you doing all this hard work for your band, and also to please your dad, and your dad don't really see it as you working hard, is just seeing you as doing your job. Then that takes away a lot. I mean, a lot of kids want their parents to look up to them, and even if he's an adult, he's still his child, and he wants the approval from his father. And if the father isn't doing that, then that puts a dapper on a person's soul and motivation or whatever. So I'm just gonna say that. Now, Susie Q, as I call her, or Susu, I did not like her in this series because she frustrated me. She's just like her father. And I say this in reality. She's the dictator's minion, in my opinion. She thinks like him. She acts like him. She looks like him. She operates like him. And I don't know if it's because she wants his approval and she wants his love, because, over the years, the dictator was like it seemed like he was so attached to Selena, putting all his motivation, his everything into Selena, and it seemed like he wasn't really doing that much with the other two kids. But in this series, she pissed me off, because you sitting up here getting mad at Selena because she did not invite you to, if that part was actually true in real life, because according to Chris, he don't remember this story. So, and I will get to that. So if it's true that if that was true that you're mad because Selena did not call you and say, come with me to the courthouse and be my witness, why would she even invite you when you're the one that snitched? Like, that's what I kept saying the whole entire time. I'm like, you snitched. If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't have to do all of that. You snitched. Even if he had suspicions about them two flirting with each other, he didn't really like harp on it until you snitched. You snitched. And then you get mad at her, somehow I thought we were close and all that. If I was Selena, I would have been like, yeah, we were close, or I thought we were close, but once you snitched on me, I question that, because a person that's there for somebody and that's close to somebody and that shares secrets with somebody will not snitch on the one person that you're not supposed to tell. You did that. You violated that. So therefore, I question you. But she didn't. If all that was true, Selena didn't say that, nor did she act like that. So that frustrate me about Selena. Like, you should have came at her and said, look, you wonder why I didn't tell you? You wonder why I keep certain things from you now? Because you're the one that snitched on us for no reason. There was no reason for you to tell. But that didn't happen. You know, and that frustrated me about Selena. And then it also frustrated me about Suzette. Like, you getting on Selena for not telling you stuff anymore. But you know why. You told. Period. You violated that. And then she keeps, Suzette keeps, agreeing with everything her father is doing. Then she keeps talking about family is first. And then she keeps talking about, yes, dad is right. It's like she didn't want Selena to be happy. You say you want her to be happy, but her happiness was with Chris. But all she cared about was the money. All Suzette cared about was the money, because she knew that if Selena was to be with Chris, that the father would disband the band permanently, which means no money will come in. That's what Suzette's issue was. She don't care about her sister's happiness. She didn't care. I don't care how many times she say it. Actions speak louder than words. Her actions did not match up with her words. She did not want Selena happy, because if she did, she would have been supportive of her and Chris's relationship from the jump, and she would have never snitched, and she would have let them just be together. It seemed like ABCDFG was the most supportive sibling out of both of them, because he knew about Selena and Chris, but he just said, just leave me out of it. Do what you want to do, but just leave me out of it. And he was like that from the whole entire time. And he didn't even get mad when they got snuck off and got married or anything. He accepted it. I mean, he was just worried about the dad, but he accepted it. He's the only one that I would say was supportive of them other than Suzette. And I thought, according to Chris, that Suzette and him were close. But obviously, she was a backstabber, just like her fucking father. Because if you were so close to Chris, why did you snitch on them? And then why are you so against them being together? Because A, you're just like your father. All you care about is money to this day. That's why I call her his little minion. That's all she cares. She's his mini-me. Because she wants his approval. She wants his love and attention that she missed out on because he was giving it all to Selena, obviously. So, yeah, and she making up for lost time. But yeah, that's all. Like, she don't care about Selena's happiness. And I say this loud and proud. She did not care then, and she don't care now. Because if she did, she wouldn't have snitched. And then during that interview, when I talked about it in few videos ago, when she did an interview with that lady, I forgot I don't know if it was ET or whatever. The lady asked, why did you tell on them? She was stuttering and all of that. She really couldn't give a real explanation. She just kept saying, well, we don't date. It's not good to date our co-workers. Mother effer, y'all were more than co-workers. Y'all were friends. Y'all were like family. According to Chris, again, he was closer to her than he were with Selena. But then he grew closer to Selena over the years. And you just effing jealous because he ain't get with you. That's it. He ain't get with you. He got with Selena, and that pissed you off. And then in the series, it's like, how you gonna sit up there and disagree with Selena's happiness and all that when you sit up there dating somebody, even if they're not in the band, but you sitting up there getting your happiness on with Bill and got married and everything like that, but Selena can't. Like, that's not right. That's not right. That's why I said she didn't care about her happiness. She didn't care about Selena in that way. No, she was jealous of her the whole fucking time. Whether she want to agree with it or not, she was. And she still is. Because she stood in the way of her happiness with Chris. She stood in the way. Her and Dictator. But like I said, I didn't like how she was. I didn't like Suzette's character in the series. But then again, that's probably how she really was, because Suzette is one of the producers or the directors of that series. So I don't think she would lie on herself. She was really a villain in that series so far. She is like, it was like, or unless she was under the spell of the Dictator, I don't know. But it seemed like all of them kind of was like under some type of spell. I don't know. But like I said, I didn't like, that series really made me not like Suzette. And of course, the dictator, everybody know how I feel about him. It made me feel bad about ABCDFG, like I said, because it seemed like he was overlooked by the one person that shouldn't overlook him, which is his father. But, you know, like I said, I don't know. But that's what I got so far. I'm on. Oh yeah, also the car, the red car, that is totally wrong. Just like in the movie, it was totally wrong. But I didn't know in the movie it was wrong because that was before I read Chris' book. But according to Chris' book, Selena and Chris did not get that red car until they were already married. And it was Chris' car. He bought that car. And Selena had the black Porsche. And he gave that Porsche, the red Porsche, to her because that Porsche was faster than the black Porsche. So they sold the black Porsche and he gave her the red Porsche, and they shared that for a while when they were married until she bought him a pickup truck for their anniversary. So that's why I was like, why is they rolling around in the red Porsche before they even were married? They didn't have that Porsche. She had her own car. She had the black Porsche. And I think he had a car. I think he had a truck. He had like a truck or something, or either a truck or, yeah, he had a truck, but he gave it to his father. But she didn't have the red Porsche yet. And they did that in the movie as well when they came to the house so she could meet up with her father to talk about the fact that, you know, they eloped and stuff. They had her in the red Porsche as well. But I didn't think about, because when I saw it, you know, the movie, that was before I knew more about Selena's personal life. But in fact, the red Porsche was non-existent until they got married. And they were already living together. And that was his Porsche, not hers. It was his first, and he gave it to her. So yeah, that was all wrong. And then they made it seem like, in the series, they made it seem like when he fired him because Susie Q snitched, you know, in the series they made him seem like they haven't seen each other in months, because they say it's been 2 months. But in reality, according to Chris, they were sneaking around the whole time. So they didn't miss no meals together. They, you know, when he got fired and he went back to live with his stepfather and his mother. Was it his stepfather? I think his stepfather. Or his father. When he went back home to San Antonio, basically, they were still sneaking around each other. They were still going out. She would still go over his house. And no, I think he moved back with his father. Yeah, his biological father. In the apartment. Or something like, not the apartment. I don't know. But he moved in back. He went back to San Antonio with his family. They were still seeing each other behind Abraham's back almost every day. If they don't see each other, they talk on the phone. So they wasn't missing each other, meaning like they wasn't going a whole 2 months without seeing each other, because they were still sneaking around. It's, you know, they still did that. And that's when, you know, Abraham noticed that Selena wasn't answering her phone, and, you know, I guess he called her on her, you know, house phone, because she was living in an apartment at the time before, and, you know, he called, she didn't answer, or he called her cell phone, she didn't answer. So he went around looking for her, and he found where Chris lived. And he went up to the house and asked Chris, have you seen Selena? Because I've been calling her and she's not answering. Yes, he's seen her, but he didn't tell her that he's seen her, because Selena just left. She just left just in time before Abraham approached his house. And he lied to him and said, no, I haven't seen the dictator. I haven't seen him. So I'm just like, why they didn't put that in the series? Because that's not true. That's why Chris, you know, you say I don't remember this story, because they're fabricating shit. Like they were still seeing each other when he got fired. But like I said, you know, the cues are going to make up their own scenario to make their sales look good. But in reality, watching that series, it made them look worse. Especially Suzette. It made her look worse. Period. But that's what I got so far on the part 2. I'm going to watch part 4, 5, and 6 tonight, and then I'll come out with a video next Friday. After I finish out my commentary on series part 2, then I will begin, you know, making content about, you know, the Abraham book, and then his, you know, rant with Joe, and then go back to reading, you know, Chris's book from chapter to chapter. So that's what's to come throughout this summer. And then, you know, around August, September, I will be taking a break for a while because, you know, as you all know, I'm with child, so I'll be focusing on my child and myself and all that. So that is what to come. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll be back with another one. Peace.